Stay tuned as we check out my top 5 Marvel Legends Build-A-Figures of 2019. Pow, and welcome back to the channel, Dan Who Reviews. As always, my name is Dan W. Make sure you are following me on Instagram at It's Dan Who. Today we are going to do a top 5 Marvel Legends Build-A-Figures of 2019. As only 8 Build-A-Figures were released this year, I thought it's better just to do a top 5 rather than a random top 8. So who is going to make the list? If you are curious to see my top 10 comic-based Marvel Legends or my top 10 MCU Marvel Legends, I do have both of those lists already up on the channel right now. Link in the corner of the screen or in the description below. Today is all about the Build-A-Figures. I had a few people mention in the comments in the previous videos, where are the Build-A-Figures? Well, that is because I have them in their own exclusive list, giving them their own bit of glory. It's not really fair to compare them to single packed figures, as it does take 7 figures, sometimes 7 or even 8 to build these guys, and you could never fit some of these into a single package figure. So I'll do my own separate list. So today I'm going to do my top 5. So on the table we got Thor, Thanos, Hulk, we got the Kree Sentry, Kingpin, Caliban, Wendigo, and then of course Molten Man here as well. So which 5 are going to make the list? Let's find out. Kicking us off at number 5, we have the Hulk from Avengers Endgame. Now, this is a very nice MCU Hulk figure, probably the best representation of Hulk / Mark Ruffalo that we have in figure form. However, the reason it is so low on the list is because it is not the version of Hulk I wanted from Endgame. This version of Hulk is when he goes back in time to New York and he goes and visits the Ancient One. It's a nice scene, but it's only a very brief moment of Endgame. And if I'm going to have one version of Hulk to represent his appearance in Endgame, I want it to be when he actually wields the gauntlet and he's wearing that purple suit. We've seen Marvel Select do one, we've seen SH Figure Arts do one, and we've even seen a few knockoffs, but Marvel Legends seem to miss the boat. Probably because they never got the concept art or whatnot. We don't know. Hopefully they will give us that version of Hulk somewhere down the line. But for now we have this guy. What does make this one nice is that we got 2 head sculpts. And as I said, it is probably the best Mark Ruffalo Hulk we have in figure form. And what makes this guy that little bit better and sort of softens the blow of it not being an sort of Endgame accurate version is that if you got the Mark 85 Iron Man from the wave 3 of the Avengers waves, you would have got the power gauntlet. And if you actually take the fist off this guy, you can slide the power gauntlet on and actually get Hulk to wield the gauntlet, which is a nice touch. It is a nice touch from Hasbro. However, he was not dressed like this when he actually wielded the gauntlet. He was in his purple outfit by then. So again, this looks nice, but it is no way accurate to the film, which is a little bit disappointing to have an inaccurate version of the Hulk on your shelf. So I appreciate it. It's a very nice figure. That's why it's made the list over some of the others. However, it's not accurate. It's not the version I wanted. So he makes it to number 5. Coming in at number 4, we have the MCU Armored Thanos from Endgame. And again, I really like this figure. I do. But the reason it makes number 4 is again due to the inaccuracies of the figure. I'm not blaming Hasbro. I know they make figures off concept art so they can have the figures out in line with the film. It just makes sense. However, I do hope they give it another go this year or next, so I have a more accurate armored Thanos for the shelf, as there is no point in time in Endgame where he actually wields all 6 stones with the Infinity Gauntlet wearing this armor. Even his sword is inaccurate to the film. I can live with the sword being inaccurate, but I wish he just never have any gauntlet on this arm at all. If he was going to have any gauntlet, it had to be the power gauntlet. But however, I don't blame Hasbro, but I just my own selfish reasons wish I had a sort of planed arm Thanos. I know Marvel selecting one. I'm not too sure if that's going to go work in line with my Marvel Legends collection. We shall see. But still, I do really like the figure. It's got some great articulation. It goes alongside great with your unarmored Thanos from Infinity War. However, the reason it makes number 4 is due to those minor inaccuracies, but still, it is a very nice action figure if you can ignore them. Still looks great on the shelf. It's still on my shelf. So yeah, Armored Thanos, number 4. At number 3, we have Caliban. Now, I had to get out the black background to really show this guy off. This was a figure I didn't know how much I was going to like until I got it in hand. It's a fun figure. I've found myself posing this guy around with my X-Men much more than some of my other builder figures on the list. He just looked menacing. Really like that face sculpt. Like, look at this face sculpt. Really evil with the yellow eyes, the painted mouth. Yeah, looks really nice. Even the hands as well have some nice texturing on there. And yeah, this Caliban looks really good. It's not the most complicated figure, but still, you can get it into some really good poses. And because of the expression on the face, it does stand out on the shelf. He's meant to be a bad guy being controlled by Apocalypse and all of that. And that's exactly what he looks like. So this guy will fit very nicely with your X-Men villains. Very fun figure. So yeah, had to be on the list. Very surprisingly for me, but it does make my number 3. Coming in at number 2, we have Thor, or Bro Thor, or Lebowski Thor, or Fat Thor, whatever you want to call it. It is a very fun action figure. Now, let's be honest, when we knew we were getting a Thor action figure from Endgame, no one thought Hasbro were going to give us this lazy bum version of Thor in his pajamas. But they did it, and let's be honest, it's a fun action figure. Is it the version of Thor I wanted from the film? Probably not. I would have preferred his sort of Viking Endgame battle Thor where he's wielding both hammers with his sort of plaited beard. That would be epic. I hope Hasbro give us that eventually, but I still appreciate what a fun action figure this is because no one thought we were going to get it. And it just looked fun in his robe, in his pajamas, with his Crocs. And we even still get the hammer, of course. And then we get 2 heads as well. We get the head with the sunglasses, and then we also get a head without the sunglasses where you can still see his scar from his eye as well. It's a fun action figure, and let's be honest, that's what toys are meant to be. They are meant to be fun. So I appreciate this guy. It's a unique figure for the shelf. We didn't think we were going to get it. Hasbro nailed it, to be fair. It represents what it's meant to represent from the film. So even though it's not the Thor I wanted, I have to be honest, it's accurate from what it's meant to portray. So yeah, I really like it. It's a fun figure. I do believe we will get the other 4 down the line. That's why I'm not too sore about this guy. It's fun, looks good on the shelf. It's one of those where your friends will point out and think that's funny. Yeah, unique figure. Number 2, this year's runner-up, Thor. And a surprise to absolutely nobody, at number 1, my favourite Marvel Legends Build-A-Figure of 2019 is Kingpin. He was actually the first Build-A-Figure of 2019, as the M'Baku Build-A-Figure wave was technically, according to Hasbro, the last wave of 2018. This guy come out in January 2019, and nobody surpassed him for Best Build-A-Figure of the Year. Now, I may be a little bit biased, as I love the character of Kingpin, and it is one I wanted in figure form, well, an updated figure form for a while, and I think they nailed it. Scale, the outfit he's wearing, they even gave us 2 interchangeable heads so you could have an angry Kingpin if you wanted to. We got his cane. Yeah, I think they nailed it. It's a great figure. He looks very menacing and imposing on your shelf, whether you pose him next to the villains or Spider-Man himself. Yeah, I'm sure everyone would agree with me. If I did include my Build-A-Figures into my comic book top 10, Kingpin may have topped the list himself, but he definitely tops the list of Build-A-Figures without a doubt. And yeah, very happy with it. I'm sure you will all agree. If you don't, let me know in the comments below. But yeah, Kingpin is my favourite Marvel Legends Build-A-Figure of 2019. So there you have it, my top 5 Marvel Legends Build-A-Figures of 2019. Now, the 3 that didn't make the cut were Molten Man, Wendigo, and the Kree Sentry there at the back. I've got no real connection to the Kree Sentry. It's a fine Build-A-Figure, but the character does nothing for me. Wendigo's a very nice figure. Nearly did make the list for me, but it is very similar to the Sasquatch that we got last year. So, unfortunately, he didn't make the cut. And Molten Man, a lot of people were hating on this guy, but I think for what Hasbro were trying to represent, they did a decent job. I've seen a few people customize this guy and put some lights in there, which really does make it stand out on the shelf. So yeah, it looks a bit of a mess, but I understand what Hasbro were trying to do, and it has grown on me throughout the year, but unfortunately didn't make the top 5. Of course, Kingpin was on my wish list for a long time, and to have him in Marvel Legends form amongst my Spider-Verse villains, I'm very happy. And yeah, I think Hasbro did a decent job with the MCU ones, but there were some tweaks that I would have preferred they made to make them that little bit more accurate. But again, they do it off concept art. They never seen the film before the figures were produced, so you can't be that mad at Hasbro. Hopefully next year they give it another go. But you let me know what you think in the comments below. What were your favourite Builder figures of 2019? Always curious to hear your thoughts. But as always, people, make sure you check out my other top 10 lists. They are on the channel right now. Just go and check out the playlists, the videos tab, but most importantly, to make sure you don't miss any of the Marvel Legend goodness in 2020, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Thank you very much appreciated. And if you are in the position to support the channel that little bit more as I rebuild my studio here in the new house, then make sure you go over to Patreon and support me there. Much appreciated. But most importantly, people, make sure you stick around and I shall see you on the next one.